Dandavat Pranam, Nanda Krishna Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam, Krishna Prabhu.
Okay. So Dandavat Pranam to everyone. We are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam by the instruction and grace of our spiritual master Om Vishnupad, Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 3, The Status Quo, Chapter 32, Text 37. Pravocham Bhakti Yogasya Svarupam Te Chaturvidham Kalasya Chavyakta Gater Yontardhavati Jantusu. My dear mother, I have explained to you the process of devotional service and its identity in 4 different social divisions. I have explained to you as well how eternal time is chasing the living entities, although it is imperceptible to them. Purport. The process of bhakti yoga, devotional service, is the main river flowing down toward the sea of the absolute truth, and all other processes mentioned are just like tributaries. Lord Kapila is summarizing the importance of the process of devotional service. Bhakti yoga, as described before, is divided into 4 divisions, 3 in the material modes of nature and 1 in transcendence, which is untinged by the modes of material nature. Devotional service mixed with the modes of material nature is a means for material existence, whereas devotional service, without desires for fruitive result, and without attempts for empirical philosophical research, is pure transcendental devotional service. Text 38. Jivasya samshrutir bhavir avidya karma nirmita yasvanga pravishan atma naveda gatim atmana. There are varieties of material existence for the living entity according to the work he performs in ignorance or forgetfulness of his real identity. My dear mother, if anyone enters into that forgetfulness, he is unable to understand where his movements will end. Purport. Once one enters into the continuation of material existence, it is very difficult to get out. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes himself or sends his bona fide representative, and he leaves behind scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, so that the living entities hovering in the darkness of nescience may take advantage of the instructions, the saintly persons and the spiritual masters, and thus be freed. Unless the living entity receives the mercy of the saintly persons, the spiritual master or Krishna, it is not possible for him to get out of darkness of material existence. By his own endeavor, it is not possible. Text 39. Naitat kalayo padisen, navinitaya karhichit, nastabdhaya nabhinaya, naivadharmadvajayacha. Lord Kapila continued, this instruction is not meant for the envious, for the agnostics, or for persons who are unclean in their behavior, nor is it for hypocrites or for persons who are proud of material possessions. Text 40. Na lolupayo padisen, na grir udha chetase, na bhaktaya chamejatu, na mad bhakta dvishamapi. It is not to be instructed to persons who are too greedy and too attached to family life, nor to persons who are non-devotees and who are envious of the devotees and of the personality of Godhead. Purport. Persons who are always planning to do harm to other living entities are not eligible to understand Krishna consciousness and cannot enter into the realm of transcendental loving service to the Lord. Also, there are so-called disciples who become submissive to a spiritual master, most artificially, with an ulterior motive. They also cannot understand what Krishna consciousness or devotional service is. Persons who, due to being initiated by another sect of religious faith, do not find devotional service as the common platform for approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead, also cannot understand Krishna consciousness. We have experienced that some students come to join us, but because of being biased in some particular type of faith, they leave our camp and become lost in the wilderness. Actually, Krishna consciousness is not a sectarian religious faith. It is a teaching process for understanding the Supreme Lord and our relationship with Him. Anyone can join this movement without prejudice, but unfortunately, there are persons who feel differently. Therefore, it is better not to instruct the science of Krishna consciousness to such persons. Generally, materialistic persons are after some name, fame, and material gain. So if someone takes to Krishna consciousness for these reasons, he'll never be able to understand this philosophy. Such persons take to religious principles as a social decoration. They admit themselves into some cultural institution for the sake of name only, especially in this age. Such persons also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Even if one is not greedy for material possessions, but is too attached to family life, he also cannot understand Krishna consciousness. Superficially, such persons are not very greedy for material possessions, but they are too attached to wife, children, and family improvement. When a person is not contaminated by the above-mentioned faults, yet at the ultimate issue is not interested in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or if he is a non-devotee, he also cannot understand the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Text 41. Shradhanaya bhaktaya vinitayana suyave bhuteshu krita maitraya sushrusabhirataya cha. Instruction should be given to the faithful devotee who is respectful to the spiritual master, non-envious, friendly to all kinds of living entities, and eager to render service with faith and sincerity. Text 42. Bahir jata viragaya shantachitaya diyatam nirmatsaraya suchaye yasyaham prayasham priya. This instruction should be imparted by the spiritual master to persons who have taken the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be more dear than anything, who are not envious of anyone, who are perfectly cleansed, and who have developed a detachment for that which is outside the purview of Krishna consciousness. Purport. In the beginning, no one can be elevated to the highest stage of devotional service. Here, bhakta means one who does not hesitate to accept the reformatory processes for becoming a bhakta. In order to become a devotee of the Lord, one has to accept his spiritual master and inquire from him about how to progress in devotional service. To serve a devotee, to chant the holy name according to a certain counting method, to worship the deity, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from a realized person, and to live in a sacred place where devotional service is not disturbed, are the first out of 64 devotional activities for making progress in devotional service. One who has accepted these 5 chief activities is called a devotee. One must be prepared to offer the necessary respect and honor to the spiritual master. He should not be unnecessarily envious of his god brothers. Rather, if a god brother is more enlightened and advanced in Krishna consciousness, one should accept him as almost equal to the spiritual master. And one should be happy to see such god brothers advance in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always be very kind to the general public in instructing Krishna consciousness, because that is the only solution for getting out of the clutches of Maya. That is really humanitarian work, for it is the way to show mercy to other people who need it very badly. The word Shushrasubhirataya indicates the word Shushrusha Birataya indicates a person who faithfully engages in serving the spiritual master. One should give personal service and all kinds of comforts to the spiritual master. A devotee who does so is also a bona fide candidate for taking this instruction. The word Bahir Jata Viragaya means a person who has developed detachment from external and internal material propensities. Not only is he detached from activities which are not connected to Krishna consciousness, but he should be internally averse to the human beings. But he should be internally averse to the material way of life. Such a person must be non-envious and should think of the welfare of all living entities, not only of the human beings, but the living entities other than humans too. The word suchaye means one who is cleansed both externally and internally. To become actually cleansed externally and internally, one should chant the holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, or Vishnu, constantly. The word diyatam means that knowledge of Krishna consciousness should be offered by the spiritual master. The spiritual master must not accept a disciple who is not qualified. He should not be professional and should not accept disciples for monetary gains. The bona fide spiritual master must see the bona fide qualities of a person whom he is going to initiate. An unworthy person should not be initiated. The spiritual master should train his disciple in such a way so that in the future only the Supreme Personality of Godhead will be the dearmost goal of his life. In these two verses, the qualities of a devotee are fully explained. One who has actually developed all the qualities listed in these verses is already elevated to the post of a devotee. If one has not developed all these qualities, he still has to fulfill these conditions in order to become a perfect devotee. Text 43. Yad idam shrinu yad amba shradhaya purusha sakrit yovabhidate machchita sahyeti padavim chame. Anyone who once meditates upon me with faith and affection, who hears and chants about me, surely goes back home, back to Godhead. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, 32nd chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Entanglement and Fruitive Activities. And thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from text 33, from chapter 33, text 1, on Wednesday. Were there any comments or questions from the devotees before we close? Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Sindar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Niskam Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Guru Varga Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees. Sama Bhakti Veda Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Navadut Dham Ki Jai, Nishringapali Dham Ki Jai, Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai. Gangamai, Yamunamai ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Giri Govardhan, Gupta Govardhan Dham ki jai. Sham Kund Radhakund ki jai. Tulsi Devi, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi ki jai.
Yeah.
Jai Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagi ki jai. Scientific Sankirtan Yagi ki jai. Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. Jai Sripadananda Krishna Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Bol Prabhu. Dhanyavad
Hare-
Pranam.
Is
How are
very
you doing?
important verse, Prabhu, of Srimad Bhagavatam. Beautiful lecture.
Yes, Bhagavatam is wonderful.
Yeah.
Jai.
Jai. Dandavat Prabhu.
Dhanyavad Pranams.